All right, let's do this. See how many things fall apart while I record this. Is that even on? Oh no, it's on. My glasses. Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you a very simple and very easy to do self-massage routine that'll alleviate your neck pain in 5 minutes or less. So if you're currently suffering from chronic neck pain, especially the neck pain that you feel kind of in the top of your shoulder and that creeps up to the back of your neck and maybe at the base of your skull and you feel that tightness and it gives you headaches and stuff like that, then this is definitely the video for you. I'm going to show you again a very simple 5-minute routine to alleviate that neck pain and hopefully get rid of it as much as we can. So let's get started. Hi, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Herrera. I am the founder of Arium Health, and I'm also a doctor of naturopathic medicine. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to release tension in 3 specific muscles that are contributing to your neck pain with just a lacrosse ball or similar and a door frame. These 3 muscles are your pectoralis minor, also known as pec minor, your pectoralis major, specifically the upper fibers and lower fibers of the pec major, and finally the serratus anterior. And if you like this video and if you like the information that I'm giving you, make sure to stick around to the end so you can find out how to book a free 15-minute virtual consultation with me so you can actually go over a at-home personalized program to deal with any chronic pain issues that you may be experiencing. Now, before we start, I have to do this and I have to say this because it's the internet. Any information here is not meant to treat, to diagnose, or to address any specific disease. Always work with your primary care doctor and your primary care healthcare provider before you start any kind of exercise program. So, as I just mentioned, we're going to be working on 3 muscle groups: the pectoralis minor, the pec major, and also the serratus anterior. Now, if you paid attention to the pictures that I just showed you, you will notice that these muscles are primarily found on the front of the body, specifically on the chest and on the sides here. Now, this being a how to address your neck pain video, you may be wondering, why are we talking about these muscles in the front? Why aren't we talking about releasing tension in your upper shoulder muscles like the trapezius or the suboccipitals or the levator scapula? And that is a great question. The reason we are focusing on these muscles specifically is because these muscles tend to pull us forward, especially if you're typing on your computer all day. A lot of us are working from home because of the quarantine and the pandemic. And more often than not, as we do this, these muscles get really tight and the muscles in the back get really weak. And then you get this forward kyphotic is what it's called, the technical term for it. Kyphotic positioning. And when this pulling happens, this internal rotation, this kyphosis happens, what ends up also happening is that your neck starts to forward tilt. Now, in this positioning, you're putting a lot of stress and a lot of strain in the base of your skull, the back of the neck, your shoulders, and your mid-back muscles. And when you do this for long enough, then your brain and your nervous system starts to adapt to the position, and then you kind of get stuck there. And this inevitably leads to neck pain, shoulder pain, that kind of annoying mid-back pain in between your shoulder blades, and of course headaches and etc. So instead of focusing on just releasing... I lost it. Got it. Where was I? So instead of just directly addressing the tight muscles in your shoulders or in your neck and basically just tackling the symptoms, we're going to go ahead and address the root cause of this, which is this pulling forward and the postural dysfunction that comes from that. And a lot of you are going to notice that just after a few minutes of working out these muscles in the front, you're going to start to feel relief in your neck pain and that annoying knot that you have in between your shoulder blades and so on. So now let's dive in on how to release these specific muscles so that your posture improves and therefore all that tension, all the strain in your neck just melts away. Okay guys, so for this specific self-massage routine, all you're going to need to make this work is a door frame of some kind, right? This could be in your office or wherever you are. And you're also going to need a lacrosse ball or similar. Now, I like lacrosse balls because they're soft. On the outside, it's basically a rubber ball, but it's dense. So it's not going to give, it's not going to be too squishy, and you're going to get that nice steady pressure as you work out and as you release these muscles. Okay, so we're going to start with the pectoralis minor. As you can see in this picture, you should be able to see a picture on the screen. The pectoralis minor is basically, you have your collarbone here and then you have your shoulder joint. It's going to be right where your collarbone meets your shoulder joint, and a little bit below that, it's part of your chest muscles. So you should feel a muscle as you do this. You never want to do this directly on bone. So you want to make sure of that. All you have to do to release this muscle is get your lacrosse ball, get your door frame, place the ball right where that pectoralis minor is going to be. Then you go into the corner of the door frame. You're going to get it nice and in place, and then you just lean into it. Now we're going to do this for 30 seconds. Now as you do this, you're going to feel soreness. You're going to feel a little bit of discomfort as we work out and release this muscle. Now all I want you to do is take really big deep breaths. As the muscle tension starts to release, we're just going to keep holding this. You can hold this for anywhere between 30 and 60 seconds, or until you feel that soreness start to calm down. When you feel the soreness calm down, then that's how you know that the muscle is releasing. Now, if you feel that after 30 seconds the pain worsens or the soreness worsens, then stop. That means there's something else going on. Of course, you're going to be doing both sides. Don't forget to do both sides. You always want to keep a balance of tension on both sides of your body. You don't want to ignore one side and do the other. And that's how you do your pectoralis minor muscle. Really simple. So next we're going to do the pectoralis major. Specifically, we're going to target the upper fibers and the lower fibers of the pec. You should be able to see a picture somewhere here to point these two areas out. Now we're going to start with the upper fibers of the pectoralis major. To find these, all you have to do is to find your collarbone, and you're going to step right underneath that into the muscle itself. These are the upper fibers of your pectoralis major. Same idea, you're going to take your lacrosse ball, you're going to place it on that spot there right underneath your collarbone. Make sure you're not on the bone directly. You're going to get going to the door frame, lean into it, and bam, you're right on it. All you have to do from here on out is to take deep breaths. Same idea as with the pectoralis minor. I find that if you take 6 really big deep breaths, that helps the soreness subside a lot faster. Otherwise, just hang out here for 30 to 60 seconds or until you feel the soreness or the intensity start to calm down. Okay, once you have an adequate release there and you feel the soreness subside, you feel looser, then you're going to move to the lower fibers of the pec. So hopefully you can see a picture somewhere here. You can also follow me here as I'm doing this. So you have a big pec muscle. You'll notice that the lower portion is right about here in this area. You're going to take your lacrosse ball, you're going to place it right on those lower part on the pec. Once you have your spot, then you're going to lean into it, right into the door frame. This might be a little tricky at first. You might have to play with the angles. However, it's really obvious once you're on it. This lower portion of the pec tends to be really tight, especially if we're typing for long periods of time, because if you notice, that part of the pec is always contracted, right? Or if you slouch a lot, that's going to be really sensitive, usually on most people. Make sure you don't overdo it. You just need to feel a little bit of soreness so you can gently sink into that muscle to get a release, and until that soreness subsides and the muscle relaxes. Don't go crazy on this. You don't have to put an excessive amount of pressure or force. Once you feel that first period, that's enough. And just hang out there, 30 seconds. Now we're going to move to our very last muscle group that we're going to be working with, and that's the serratus anterior. And this muscle is located underneath your armpit, right here on the side of your torso. This is a really important muscle because what it does, it pulls your scapula forward. It allows you to do this motion. However, if we're stuck in this motion like this, as we're typing or as we're slouching for too long, it gets stuck here, and that brings us more into that kyphotic and rounded shoulder position and aggravates our neck pain. So what we're going to do is we're going to release that so it releases the scapula so your shoulder blade can go into a more neutral position and relieve that pressure on your neck. The way we're going to do that is you're going to find the lower pec that we just worked on a minute ago, and then you're going to go a little bit further behind that, and you're going to place your lacrosse ball right there in that area, and then you're going to go into your door frame and you're going to lean into it. Now this is going to be a very sensitive area for most people because for the most part no one really works in this area. So be very gentle, be very careful, don't go crazy here. You'll know as soon as you're on it because they tend to be very sore, and just gently release it. So again, make sure you do both sides, and that's how you release the serratus anterior. All right, guys, that's it. That's the entire 5-minute routine in a nutshell. Make sure you practice that. You can do it up to 2 or 3 times a day, just depending on what you're comfortable with. Obviously, pay attention to your body. You know, if you start to feel like certain muscles are getting too sore or things become too painful, stop, right? Use your common sense. And again, make sure to work with your primary care doctor when starting a new exercise program. But how do you feel? At this point, you know, you went through the 5-minute routine. Your neck should feel a little looser, right? Your mid-back should feel a little less tense. Your pain may have reduced a bit. Make sure to let me know in the comment section what you think about that 5-minute routine. I would love to know your feedback on that. Now, it is very important to understand when it comes to chronic neck pain or any kind of chronic muscle pain or musculoskeletal, myofascial pain, that we also have to incorporate strengthening exercises, the appropriate stretching, the appropriate movement rehab tools in order to completely get you out of pain and to rebalance the tension in your body so that we can actually, in the long term, get rid of your pain more effectively. So make sure that you do subscribe to the channel and you hit that notification button, because I will be talking about these topics in the future, and I'll be creating more videos and more content that goes into specifics as to what strengthening exercises you need to be doing, or what stretching, or what any other self-massage or myofascial release. Now, last thing before we're done, if you would like a more personalized assessment and a more personalized at-home rehab program to address your specific chronic pain needs, then all you have to do is click the link below in the description box, which will take you to another page where you can schedule a free 15-minute consultation via Zoom, and I'll actually work with you one-on-one to come up with an at-home personalized rehab program so that we can get you out of pain as soon as possible. Thank you guys again for watching my very first YouTube video, and I will speak to you guys soon.